Welcome into Chatted Up Sports in this tumultuous Tuesday in the landscape of college football. Week 1, boys. We got a lot of questions to still be answered. We have a lot of answers as well. There's a lot of L's in our books this week, but that's okay. That is all right. We're going to bounce back. Checks bounce, but we bounce back, right, man?
We bounce back, dog.
That's right, dog. That's right. We have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Max Chadwick of PFF, to help us answer those P's and Q's. We got a new segment, giving a little love to the role players, baby, in college football. But first, Joseph, hit that theme music. It's good to be back, boys. But who's back in the house after a long-awaited time up north?
Woo.
Malcolm Miggy Harris. Welcome, brother.
It's so good to be back. I feel like I've been in jail. Not jail. It's not bad. Like, I enjoyed my time.
Las Vegas jail.
But, buddy, bro, I'm just so happy to be back in the studio with my brothers. Like, this is all I can't stop smiling.
It's good to have you.
It's so freaking good to be back, man.
Home. I want to give you all the cliches, like the songs.
Yeah.
The man singing to my right, Greg Larnard.
What up, CG?
What's up, brother?
We are back, Mig. What's going, bud?
What's
It's
up,
good to
bud?
have us both and everybody all in the studio.
I don't know the last time this has happened, bro.
It's been a while.
Was it you or
No.
Joseph that said, "Hey,
The
it
man
feels like,
behind the
yeah,
camera
it feels like it's
walks in.
2024."
So what's up, boys? It feels like it's 2024. Like feels like it's February 2024. We just started this shit back up.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the same place again.
Yeah.
Only we're starting with college football and not with the NFL after the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So it's like your Super Bowl.
This is Christmas to me. Okay. Week 1, college football, Labor Day. There's 5 straight days of football. Unfortunately, got to go back to work. But like, this was Christmas for me. This is everything. Like, I look forward to this weekend so much that it's almost kind of sad how excited I get.
Don't worry, buddy.
It's not sad.
I think there's millions of people that
I
feel
was
the
going to
same
say,
way.
yeah.
Did you guys see what's his name? The guy from chat, the Biggie guy. He does all
Cook
the
the
clips.
books?
Yeah,
Cook
cook
the
the
books.
books. So
He's from Chattanooga.
he
Shout out,
posted his
Biggie.
brother, and he was just crying in there, and he goes, "This is my brother. He's been crying since 9 a.m. just saying we're back, we're back." And I love it because also I heard another clip. It was one of those like I think Barstool made it. T-Bop was like, "This is like Christmas, but for 3 straight months." And then I just tack on New Year's, and it's college basketball until April of 2026.
Yeah,
It's
Pretty
awesome.
much.
It's
like-
awesome.
It's like Christmas, but the elves are, sports books and they're taking my money. So, but I don't care. I don't care because it's the thrill, man. It's the ride. It's like a roller coaster. Like you pay to experience a theme park, and that's the theme park of betting on 18 to 22-year-olds who are also going to fracture your emotional state on a weekly basis.
Let me
I wouldn't
ask-
have any other way.
Let me ask you this question, Joseph.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
ask you this specifically.
Yeah.
And you guys can answer this as well.
Okay.
But you specifically, as a Georgia fan,
Uh-huh.
you love college football. If Georgia was having a miserable year,
Mhm.
you would still be this excited.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just as much, dude.
Okay.
Like
It's okay to say you'd be a little less excited.
He's a junkie.
dude, the way I was fiending Cal Oregon State at 1 a.m. on the East Coast, like it's just that's not something. I don't think that's something you can fake.
I tried to stay up and
Like-
watch little Nico's debut for
I-
UCLA, and when I went to sleep, it wasn't bad. And I woke up and I was like, "Oh damn,
Oh, it was bad.
oh,
It
That-
was bad.
The hate watch,
Oh yeah, dude.
y'all don't understand how satisfying
it was a satisfying Saturday for Tennessee fans,
it was.
all the way around."
It's
The
like
most.
seeing your ex-girlfriend that was like a supermodel, and now she is bigger than like 300 pounds. It's like we won game 1 out of a 7-game series. Like Nico is the ugly ex-girlfriend. Like he might have been the issue.
He might have been.
Especially
Yeah.
how good Joey looked at times.
Yeah, I was about to say you guys had like a 3 swing generational hate watch day because at noon you started with Joey in Tennessee looked great against
Yeah.
Syracuse. And then 3:30 rolls around and you watch Alabama just absolutely flop. And then you get to the night slate and you watch Clemson lose at home. And then you get to the 11 o'clock game and Nico just gets bullied by Utah. Like, it's just a generational run of hate watching for
Good
Tennessee
start.
fans on Saturday.
I would
Like-
like to see our boy Kaner posed this question on Twitter. He's like, I would like to see what the stats look like from how many people from Tennessee watched Utah Cal.
Oh,
I would
so
love
You saw
that.
Utah UCLA.
so
sorry.
many.
Probably the most ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
And
For a
probably not
UCLA
as many
game.
as wanted to, but just couldn't manage to stay up late enough.
Yeah.
Like,
I paused it because I was like, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
So I watched the next morning or
Yeah.
some of it. I just kind of like buzzed through, But yeah, I hate watch the next day because I wanted to. And especially by then, let's be honest, I saw the score. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to still watch this.
5.5 was so free.
So free.
So
yeah,
free.
it
So
really
free.
was because we all had doubts as Tennessee fans about this cat. And if Nico was as bad as we think he is, or honestly, let's be honest, want him to be as bad as we think he is,
Yeah.
then 5.5 was easy pickings.
Yeah.
And the same issues came up for Nico. Like the overthrows, the panic when the pocket was collapsing, guys streaking wide open, can't hit him. I mean, it's him. It's
Yeah.
him. It is what he is at this point.
I hate the fact that I did want to hate watch. I was like, all right, this is the last one. I'm not
Mhm.
going to watch anymore. I'm not going to hate on this guy. I need to see one time. After that, I'm out because I
Yeah.
did feel bad. I was like, this is
Yeah.
is he 20 yet?
I think he's 20.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
20 or
Yeah.
21. But I mean, the problem is that even if Nico didn't get worse, which I don't think he did, everything around him got worse.
Yeah.
And
20.
that's a bad combination, is to go in, you're still the same player, and then everything around you is just worse. It's just not a good combination. I mean, UCLA, I don't know their schedule off the top of my head, but I think they're going to be like 4-8.
They're favored as of now to only win one game. After
makes
Saturday's
sense.
debacle, they are favored to win one game.
Yeah,
That makes sense. So, They-
This
they-
is a horrible situation. for
dude,
Nico.
listen, hear me out. Them, UCLA, Stanford, Cal. We'll get to Cal's quarterback. They need to just go back to the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Stanford doesn't need to play in the ACC.
Why not?
No one wants to see Cal going halfway across the world to play Pitt. Like, I'm not interested in that. Give
Nope.
me Cal and Fresno State at 11 p.m. Eastern.
No,
Like, I
'cause
need
we were,
that
We were
in my
just
life.
watching a highlight that was Oregon State versus Cal on the ACC network.
And there was a Pac-12 logo on that field, and it just felt right.
Yeah.
Just felt right, man. It felt like home. It felt like Malcolm does being in the studio right now. It felt like
Ah,
home.
It feels like home. Bro.
Like, I'm looking at this,
yeah.
and all of
We're
a sudden
so
I'm
back.
transported back to like 2017, and it's late night on the East Coast, and there's just Pac-12 after dark.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't matter how good the day was, how good or bad the day was. Pac-12 after dark's gonna be a ride,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna make me feel. There's no better way to crash and end your night than a good Pac-12 after dark just shit show. Of a game.
Yeah.
So-
It was perfect. It
Yeah,
really
yeah.
was. I had that feeling too. What's funny is because it did feel like a little bit of college-ish too.
Mhm.
I walked in there, I ordered my pizza at like 7:00, had a few pieces left. It's like 10:30, so I'm gonna like try to work up to the game. I was like, I'm gonna give me a slice of pie that I got left over, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch this next game. I was like, this is exactly what I did in college with the boys, like go get your extra
Mhm.
kind of lukewarm
I
pizza.
know what you're putting down.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Come on.
It was great. Shout out to Domino's. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Georgia, real quick.
Mhm.
They don't cover anything over 38.5.
No, they
No.
don't.
No, Kirby has no desire to. You want me to tell you why? Because Kirby wants reps. He wants live bullet reps for as many guys as he can get. And one of the talking points of this Georgia team going into the season was that, hey, you're really talented, but you're really young. And a lot of your second string guys are even younger than they've ever been for Kirby at Georgia. So when he sees, hey, this game's over, he knows what Marshall is. He respects that program, that head coach. There's no reason to drop 65.
Yeah.
When he can throw in his second and third string guys and be like, hey, guys, these are the calls. Figure out where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do. These are live reps. Like if you want to work up to playing time, this is where you get it. And I think that's just more impactful in how he runs his program than like some other programs that'll remain nameless that drop like 70 or high 60s, and leave their starters in late into the fourth quarter. That's just me.
Makes no sense.
But
how'd you feel about the ground game?
Better. Chauncey Bowen looks pretty good. I didn't get to see as much Josh McCray as I wanted to. I tell you what I like from Nate Frazier, ball security.
Yeah,
he didn't put the ball on the ground.
That ball wasn't on the ground one time.
That felt great.
What about Gunnar Stockton picking him up and putting him down?
Dude, Gunnar pulling the ball is a real threat this year.
It's that's the best way to use him.
Yeah, after the last 2 years where it was like, hey, Carson's going to fake it, but he's not going to keep it. You know he's not going to keep it. We know he's not going to keep it. They know he's not going to keep it. It's nice to see Gunnar and you can tell based on watching some of Marshall in the film and the way that guys were crashing down on the running back, no one was ready for Gunnar to keep the ball. So I'm excited for that because it reminds me a little bit of Stetson. He's not Stetson when I say that. He doesn't run the same way. He's not Stetson. But it reminds me of adding that wrinkle to your game that I think is going to pay huge dividends for Georgia offensively. I don't love that Juan Gaston got hurt. I don't know the extent of that injury. I don't know like how bad he is hurt. From what we've heard, the MRI results were negative, which is a good thing. Yeah. That whole medical lingo.
Yeah.
So it's good news we got. But him as a freshman, he's huge. He absolutely demolished a guy, and I love to see that. The receiver core, Zachariah Branch is fun to watch.
Oh, boy.
That boy can scoot.
Zachariah Branch can move, dog.
I saw a stat that said that he has over a fifth of the production he had at USC last season
in just in one game. Yeah. He's gonna be a monster this season. The staff said that he's just a gamer, man.
Yeah.
He loves ball, and that's what I love to hear. So I'm really excited to watch him. I wanted to see a little bit more from like Colby Young and Noah Thomas, but I understand why we didn't get that. Gunnar got pulled in like the second quarter. Puglisi came in. Like, you're not putting that stuff on tape, because you play Austin Peay next weekend, and then let's be honest, you got Tennessee in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you're not putting that on tape. You're going to save whatever you can for Knoxville. Defense felt good.
You did what you needed to do against Marshall.
You did you got guys reps. You put them away early, and you didn't make it embarrassing. So
yeah, it was pretty stifling. Like you knew, okay, Marshall, if we turn this on even just a little notch here, it's over. It's over. And they cranked that up. And I actually thought Marshall's quarterback at zone had some times where I was like, okay, agile. There's some guys that have struggles that are also in the South with very agile, fast quarterbacks, mainly down in Tallahassee. So I thought, okay, this guy, they're not going to have trouble. The sideline to sideline stuff with Georgia, I don't know what you guys do. I don't know how many shell drills you guys do. This is incredible.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad.
Yeah. And I can't tell you how many times I've watched the Branch screen for like a 47-yard touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, man, he's fast.
He's so fast.
I don't even think he was running full speed either, bro.
Dude, like not even just that, but like watching him and watching the way they're blocking down the field, like it's just so refreshing. It felt like watching Georgia football because last year, man, was just tough at times because there were just missed assignments, blown assignments, people in the wrong position. We'll get into a take I have about that with Max in a little bit. But yeah, felt good. Good watch. Just Marshall, so not overreacting, but felt good.
It's like you want to see in those games, I want to be really good when we're vanilla.
Yeah.
I want to be really good when we're vanilla.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's what they did.
Just out-talent the other team easily.
Yeah. Just like we've got better players than you, and we don't need to rub that in because we just know.
And like you
So.
said, you get an opportunity to get other players, some secondary players, some second string guys,
Yep.
some meaningful run. Now, again, it's not super meaningful, but any playing time
It's
at the college level as a young player is obviously going to be meaningful.
Yep, it's more meaningful than practice reps.
Yeah,
because it's
100%. Like you said,
it's
bullets
live.
flying around.
Yep, and it's fun to see some of those guys that I love that we got some freshmen some playing time. Like obviously Juan Gaston's a freshman. Ethan Barber's a guy that I'm really excited about. Like he's a tight end, 5-star tight end. You look at him, it's an NFL body. Watching the few plays that I saw him, he looks like he understands the offense, which to be a freshman is huge.
Yeah.
Again, it's just Marshall, so we're not overreacting. But
Wait,
I mean,
are you talking about you don't want to overact on a Monday?
yeah,
Right after week 1?
yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
this is
listen,
a sports
come on.
show.
I'm not
Get your shit
saying
together.
I'm not saying Kirby gets his third natty and Gunner for Heisman. Okay, you're not going to hear that from me.
You heard it here first.
But I am
Essentially
I'm,
what you said.
I'm really excited to see how this team grows because I think what this team's going to look like in like late November is going to be vastly different than what they look like now, in a good way. I think the more reps these guys get, the better they'll get.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this could be a team that maybe at the end of the year, if they fell short in a couple of areas, they could sneak into the playoff as like a 2-loss team and kind of run shit.
Yeah.
Just because they've had, 12 games under their belt.
Mhm.
But we'll see. It's a long season. It's one game. You don't exactly have a world beater next weekend in Austin Peay, but you look for a similar result next week. So,
Yeah.
But speaking of results, you boys had a pretty good one
We did.
on Saturday at noon.
I know
Looks
we
like
were
you-
talking about Nico earlier. It seems like week 1, we won the trade.
I mean, it looks like you guys upgraded at quarterback. If I'm being honest, so give me your. I mean, straight up fan takes. We'll get into analysis, but like straight up fan takes. How you feel about Joey? How you feel about the offense?
Okay, so I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah.
Joey has got to get those passes down. That is going to kill us in 2 weeks. Did y'all not see the constant passes that
They're a little
were
high. Yeah.
They're just high.
a little high. I
And
mean, he
they're
wasn't
the short
terrible.
throws.
He wasn't terribly efficient in this game,
Yeah.
but he made the plays when he needed to make the plays. Obviously, that big touchdown to what's his face, Staley.
Brandon Servio.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a good one. The wide receivers also weren't helping him. We were in the group chat and you were talking about, man, these boys need to catch the football.
Listen, bro. I'm going to tell him right now, Mike Matthews has to be better.
He will be.
And
Again,
will
He will be. This is the first time he's really playing meaningful snaps,
Yeah.
like starting snaps.
There's a little ways to go with the wide receivers.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a little ways.
Did you guys listen to the pregame show by chance on the radio?
No.
I don't know. I was cruising into the another 2-year-old birthday or 1-year-old birthday this weekend.
It's such
Shout
a
out
good
to Life
man.
in the 30s. But I was listening to Swain, and he's great about being relatively gentle,
Of course.
but he's honest. He's like, these last couple weeks of camp, I've not been thrilled with this group. He's like, he did the whole like, this has not been our best group, but there's the, football players got a lot to prove mentality. So we'll see. So that's doesn't give me a lot of confidence from somebody that I appreciate their analysis on Tennessee. So if Swain doesn't believe that, I do think they've got a ways to go, but I was pleased against a defense that I thought was going to be a lot better. I don't know how much I want to take from week 1 because I don't think Syracuse is great.
I was going to say, I didn't believe in their defense. They lost a lot and they weren't very good last year.
Yeah, I just believed in the coaching staff, and I thought, they'll be better. They'll be pretty good. I didn't think they were going to be great. I didn't think we were facing another 10. I don't think it's going to be another 10-win Syracuse team, but I did think, they'll give us some problems. Man, this Heupel offense, I don't want to make it as easy sounding as like it's plug and play, but I think they've recruited the running game so well, and that's offensive linemen, that's tight ends, that's running backs, that it does feel like it's a plug and play for 1,000 yards runners again. These 3 guys, any one of them could be stars this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a guy named Star.
Yeah.
So
And David Sanders didn't
Pun
even play
intended.
in this game.
Yeah.
I know.
So he was
which
out.
Shocking.
So like your 5-star true freshman didn't play. So
I
that's
mean,
got to be. He's going to come back eventually. So
once I saw the sticker still on Fran Brown's hat, I thought, I knew it was over. Come on, brother.
don't cook my boy, dog.
Come on,
dog.
Frank. You got to be better than
Hey,
that.
take that
Dog.
sticker off, man.
This ain't the early 2000s, bro.
He wasn't ready for this.
No.
But I think your initial reaction when you saw your play in Syracuse is that you're probably more talented than this team, but like Syracuse is going to play hard because that's just how Fran Brown coaches this team, and I think you got that from Syracuse. I don't think for a moment you saw them like quit at any point during this game,
Yeah.
which is a testament to Fran and how he coaches that team and how he runs that program. And
I mean, if they don't have that terrible first quarter where they got outscored 17-0, they're in this ball game.
They are. They didn't quit.
Well, the scoop and score was really the moment where it was
Yeah.
like, hey, this
Uh-oh.
could get out of hand. So I knew, for me, from a gambling perspective, I knew my under was cooked the moment the scoop and
Bingo.
score happened. I was like, oh,
Sorry,
okay, so this ain't happening. But yeah, I think you got to feel positive about.
Yes.
I don't think it's quite the same. And I was talking to my brother about this game, and I thought, because he asked me, he didn't get to watch any football this week, and he asked me about Tennessee, and I said, well, I think their defense could be a little bit worse than it was last year. I was like, but that's to be expected. I was like, but I think their offense could be much better than it was last year. And I was like, if I talk to the boys and some other Tennessee fans, and I tell them, hey, if you had like a little bit, like say like 10 or 15% backslide in defense, but your offense improved by like 30 to 40%, you probably take that.
I'm taking it.
You take that.
Easy.
And I feel like that could be the story for this Tennessee team.
Well, Joseph, with this team, bro, and I'm sorry to cut you off. Like this is the first time I felt. You remember 2022, how dynamic that offense was?
Yes.
Haven't seen it since then. This was the first time that I've seen up tempo. Like I've seen guys getting on the ball. I've seen fake injuries. Like I saw like a crispy Tennessee team offensively, even with mistakes. Yeah. So like I loved what I saw personally, and I just think it's going to get better. I do want to give like a unofficial helmet sticker. Lance heard that was his best game as a Tennessee Volunteer. Yeah, he looked like literally a first round pick. He was a massive unit of destruction out there for 60 minutes with the ball. So shout out to Lance Hurd, man. Yeah, and I think it's got to feel nice also for the Heupel system. Nico felt like a 1-read, 2-read pull, and he was out. He was gone. Joey feels like he'll 1-read, 2-read, 3-read, like click back.
He's a veteran.
He's seen a lot of football. Yeah. He's played, which don't get me wrong, as you play some of these other teams or play some better defenses, that could, I don't want to say bite you, but like if Joey gets too comfortable in the pocket, that could lead to more sacks.
Yeah.
Some of these deep balls that he connected on in the Syracuse game, he was a little bit interception prone last year, but it's just you got to see as he plays some of these better defenses what's going to happen. But I do think you just got to feel better about Joey than you did about Nico.
He's kind of a gunslinger. I know we talked about. I kind of joked around making the comparison about Brett Favre early, last week, but he's kind of a gunslinger. You're right. He put the ball in harm's way a couple of times on that game on Saturday against Syracuse, but those are hopefully teachable moments. And as you mentioned, I love a dude that will go through his progression and he's not 1 look, 2 look, all right, I'm out, I got to run.
Yeah.
It's, all right, if I have time, let me run through my progressions. Maybe I come back to something that I could see. Maybe there's a scramble drill. He was moving around in the pocket. He ran pretty well in this game for a couple of first downs.
Yep.
So he's athletic.
He's got some wiggle.
He's got to get down. He's got to get out of bounds, though.
Yes, he'll learn that. He's
probably
excited.
Get down, get out of bounds.
SEC quarterback.
I understand it's first game. You want to feel some contact, but brother, get down, get out of bounds.
That was a big part of it. I will say that is a big key for him for Tennessee. I actually think he needed to do that. I think he needed to.
From a leadership perspective.
From a leadership perspective. He's had a too short of a window. Yeah. You got to smash them out.
That'll pay dividends with your teammates.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then now they're like, oh, that's my dude.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of like, hey, we got to make this dude the leader.
Yeah.
I think that was a lot of push on because our backups are not going to be what you are.
Yeah. For sure.
And he had to go give some shots. And he did. I was kind of pleased with it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, next week, let's get down. Let's not do anything stupid. 2 weeks from now, you're going to have to get down because those guys will hit you harder. I promise.
Yes. Yeah, your ETSU Bucks might not hit him.
No, that could be a bad one. I'm really glad that I'm just going to have a good family Saturday during that game, so I won't have to worry about that too much. I was a little worried seeing Ricky Gibson go down.
He's going to be out multiple weeks.
Yeah.
So that's 2 of our corners, and I don't know if McCoy is going to be back fully healthy by Georgia.
No, I don't think McCoy's coming back till probably late October.
I would say realistically, we get him back for the last half. If I'm him, I might even.
They said that at the beginning of the offseason. They're like, well, he might come back for Georgia. I was like, there's no way.
I think your optimistic return is Alabama.
Yeah.
For Jamon McCoy.
So it's going to have to get really good. Tim Banks is going to have to be really good.
He was good in this game.
He was really good at times.
He was, but also
there was some times when we lost. We got lost in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and I'll say also, love him to death. Our city loves him to death. Boo Carter has to play better too.
I think he's got to
play a whole heck a lot.
Yeah, he's got to get healthy.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
You think it was a health thing, or you think it was a disciplinary thing?
Two, both of them. Yeah, two things. Yeah. I will say, supposedly he's been day to day. I don't think it was too disciplinary because he did play early. I was like,
he did.
Why did you not sit him for a half or do the whole typical thing? But I don't know. We got a man in waiting though, boys.
We do. Do you want to do Role Players Lounge now, or do you want to do
Let's wait afterwards.
Afterwards?
We'll wait afterwards here.
Bet.
Because we don't want to hold this man up. He's very important.
He is a very important man.
He's from the wonderful city of Cincinnati. He's got a great head of hair, as I've mentioned before. He is one of the most knowledgeable men in all of football. He hosts a great show on PFF. The one and only. 3 claps, 1 time. Max Chadwick.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Great. How are you, buddy?
Good. What up, Max?
It's good, man. Good. Finally got real football to talk about, man. So it's been fun, man. It's been really fun to take every preseason expectation I had going into the year and just completely throw it in the garbage because apparently we have no idea what's in store for this year. I mean, that was as wild of a week 1 as I can remember, I think.
100%. Now, we were just talking about Tennessee, so I'll start there and I'll let the boys kind of roll off of this one. But talk to us a little bit about Aguilar and what you thought of Tennessee. I know they were just going up against Syracuse. Syracuse lost a lot. Fran Brown, what we're talking about with the sticker on his hat, not great look. Talk to me about Tennessee and what you thought of Aguilar and company.
Yeah, it sucked as a Syracuse alum for the defense
Sorry.
In that game. But, yeah, I thought Tennessee looked great, man. And, going into the season, I had a lot of question marks surrounding the offense considering, Nico was gone, Dylan Sampson was gone, your top 3 receivers are gone, 4 starting offensive linemen are gone too. And Tennessee responded with an 85.6 offensive grade or 85.2, excuse me. That's the best since 2016. Right, when they had Alvin Kamara and Jawan Jennings and Joshua Dobbs, right? So, again, this is one of the things where expectations going into it, Tennessee's offense might take some time to gel, and they came out and they had their best offensive grade in 9 years in the first game, right? So, it looked great, and Josh Heupel did a great job coaching them up out there. Aguilar, I thought, played really well in that game too, and I will say, I could tell you firsthand as a Syracuse alum and fan that Syracuse's defense is not a very strong one, and certainly not the strongest one that Tennessee will play all year. But it is good to see everything clicking on all cylinders in week 1 for that offense.
Yeah, because the scheme's going to be there. Josh is going to get you open. I thought Joey hit the deep ball, that's one of those that, as I was mentioning, I think there's certain things you got to have with this team now after the Nico situation and the Milton situation. It's like, hey, you got to hit the deep ball, and we talked about it. He took off on a couple of those runs and tried to lower his shoulder. I was like, I don't want that after this week, but I think he needed to show some dog in him week 1 to kind of build that up. I did want to ask about the dogs in the trenches. This offensive line felt really good for Tennessee. How did you guys grade them out? And along with the running backs too, because this running game feels like plug and play with how Josh is recruiting.
Yeah, the running game was awesome. The run game for Tennessee was really good. And, all 3 of the running backs actually were among the highest graded players for Tennessee overall in the game. So I was really, really impressed by that. So, Deshaun Bishop looked really good out there, and the offensive line looked good out there too. Star Thomas looked good too. And think about it. I mean, you don't even have David Sanders playing right tackle for you right now. He's coming off that injury. When he's back too, I mean, that's a top 10 overall recruit you got at right tackle, probably starting for you. So it wasn't even the fully healthy Tennessee offensive line that we saw on Saturday, and they still played really well. Now, again, caveat, Syracuse's defensive line lost a lot of pieces from last year. It projects as the weakest part of the entire team this year, so not necessarily the hardest defensive line Tennessee has to go up against, but it was good seeing that new look offensive line for Tennessee. Lance Hurd especially looked outstanding, I thought, in that game. And, I think it's good to see Tennessee's offensive line look like that, and the running game look like that too.
Max, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but the injury bug, man, has kind of hit Tennessee. Unfortunately, I mean, you talked about Jermod, and then also Ricky Gibson, cornerback, is going to be out for a few weeks. What is expected as we have Georgia coming into Knoxville in a couple of weeks, specifically corner and defensive back? Do you think that the Vols are going to right the ship, or what's going to be the strategy there if you're calling it?
Yeah, it's worrying when you have those two out, right? Because Gibson's a good player, and McCoy, in my opinion, is the best cornerback in the draft, at least draft eligible cornerback. There's an argument for him to be CB1 overall in the country with Leonard Moore, the true sophomore at Notre Dame. But Jermon McCoy, I think, is CB1 in this upcoming NFL draft. So if he's not, and he probably won't be able to go for that Georgia guy. I believe Josh Heupel came out today and said that he won't be able to go. That's worrying. Now, Gunnar Stockton played well week 1 against Marshall, but against Marshall, the receivers look good. Zachariah Branch looked really good, but again, it's Marshall too. So the passing game for Georgia is still the biggest question mark with the entire team right now. So it's not like you're going up against, an elite passing game that we at least know of right now. So that is encouraging for Tennessee in that respect, but you never want to be shorthanded against Kirby Smart and Georgia. And having those two corners out, especially Jermon McCoy, who's an absolute superstar, that could be a big problem when you go up against, Gunnar Stockton, Zachariah Branch, Noah Thomas, and all those talented receivers that Georgia has.
Definitely.
I'm gonna throw myself on here, Max, because I want. Listen, I promise I'm not going to bully you about being a Syracuse fan, but there are some points I'm going to bring up later in the show that might be a little bit painful. Specifically, one that has to do with a certain quarterback, but we'll get to that later. I wanted your take on Steve Angeli and how you thought he played, how you think the outlook for him is with is it Jeff Nixon's the OC for Syracuse? What do you think? What are your thoughts with him moving forward? How do you think the Syracuse team kind of projects out for the year? Because it is a bit of a rebuild with what all they've replaced, but I just wanted to know how you feel as a fan of Syracuse about Steve Angeli.
Yeah, he's solid. He's not Kyle McCord. He's not gonna, be a guy that grips it and rips it and leads the nation in passing yards and breaks the ACC single season record in passing yards. He's a solid quarterback who will run the offense the way it's designed. He won't probably push the ball downfield that much. I thought he was okay against Tennessee. There were some throws he left on the table, some plays that weren't great out there. He only graded like a 59 in the game. I thought he played maybe a little bit better than that, but yeah, I mean, it was a tough test, right? Tennessee's defense is still really good this year, even with all the injuries in the secondary. Joshua Josephs, I thought, was unblockable at the edge spot for them, too. So, yeah, great secondary Tennessee's got, too, even with all the injuries. So it was a tough test for him. I like Syracuse's passing game this year with Angeli and those receivers. They have talent in that receiver room. I thought Jonte Cook flashed, the former 5-star recruit. Texas now at Syracuse now. He looked pretty good out there. Yassine Willis, the running back, looks really good out there, too. Which is a good sign for that offense. The offensive line for Syracuse is the biggest question mark on that offense. It's always been for the last few years. And Angeli, like I said, he's not going to be Kyle McCord. Anyone expecting that is going to be disappointed. But he could be enough for Syracuse to maybe make a bowl game. The schedule is what makes it really hard, because if you look at a schedule for Syracuse, I mean, it's one of the 10 hardest in the country, easily the hardest in the ACC. Like, they play Clemson, Miami, they still have Notre Dame. They still have SMU, and all those games are on the road. So, I mean, it's really a really difficult schedule. I think 6-6 would be a really good year for Syracuse this year.
All right, I want to switch gears unless anybody else got anything on Tennessee. All right, cool. Let's move over to a more low hanging fruit. I want to talk a little bit about Texas and Ohio State, and obviously Arch Manning. And boy, Matt Patricia's been trying to stop Manning's for a very long time, and he finally stopped this one in his tracks. Talk to us a little bit about what you thought about Arch's debut. Texas, I mean, you look at the numbers and they look better on Texas's side. They had the one turnover that they turned into points. Did Ohio State, the defense, very opportunistic. Julian Sayin wasn't fantastic, but they didn't turn the football over at all. But talk to me about that game, Arch specifically, and everything you saw from that matchup.
Yeah, I think Arch is getting a lot of hate right now that I don't think is completely justified. I think you look at that offense, they replaced their top 3 receivers from last year. They replaced 4 starters on the offensive line from last year too. and obviously Arch in his first ever big game. I know it's his third career start, but really this is his first big game as a starter. I'm not pressing the panic button. Let's say that right now in Arch Manning or Texas. And actually, if you look at the grades, Arch had a 76 grade overall because he was bad in the first 3 quarters, but he was on fire in the fourth quarter. He had like a 91 passing grade in the fourth quarter. He had 4 big-time throws in the final 8 minutes of that game. And I thought Steve Sarkisian, honestly, in the first 3 quarters, was very conservative, way too conservative. And then finally, when they had to, start making some plays, they opened it up a little bit. And you saw, okay, this is what the Texas offense should look like. So they have San Jose State this week. You'll see this offense open up more, gel together. It's going to take time. I think this is such a young offense. But credit to Ohio State, man, because Matt Patricia and what is a relatively young defense. I know they have Caleb Downs and a few other returning starters, but pretty young defense too. They played really well. And then they came up big in big moments. Like you can make an argument, and I'm not going to say that they deserve to win, they deserve to lose the game. But I thought Texas in a lot of ways outplayed Ohio State, but Ohio State came up big in big moments. Like Texas was 1 for 5 on 4th down in that game. Like they just could not make these big plays in the biggest moments. And credit to Ohio State and why they won it all last year. In the biggest moments on those goal line stands, they come up huge, right? So Ohio State played well enough to win. The defense is outstanding. And most importantly to me, they were absolutely massive in the biggest moments of the game.
Dude, how nasty are those linebackers? They're so good, man. They're so freaking good.
Yeah, dude, they're so impressed. They're flying around out there, man. They sure were. Sonny Styles, I thought was really good. And I had him as a top 10 linebacker entering the year, and he was really good too. And then honestly, I thought the best unit on the field was the secondary. The Ohio State secondary was so good covering those receivers. I mean, blame Arch all you want, but those receivers were not getting open very much at all in that game too. So that back 7 for Ohio State is looks like it might be just as loaded as last year, which is pretty scary.
That's terrifying. The fact they can just refill makes me so mad. I want that so bad.
Max, there's this saying that I got, man. It's whenever I'm dating a real attractive woman, a hospital, and Waffle Houses, my wallet's always open. But Jeremiah Smith didn't seem to be open on Saturday, bro. So I want you to tell me, do you have any concerns about Jeremiah Smith, number 4? What we
Come
thinking?
on, no way. No way. Come on.
I'm not worried. If you remember that semifinal game last year when he had 1 catch for 3 yards against Texas, they were trying to, bracket him as much as possible. And I think I got to go back and watch the All-22 again because I only watched it, I believe, 1 time over. But, I think that was what's happening in that game. Now, he did have a couple drops. That's very uncharacteristic for Jeremiah Smith, considering last year he actually dropped his first ever target of his career last year. And then after that, he did not drop a single pass the entire rest of the season.
Yeah.
And actually, I tweeted it out when he had the first drop in that game. And I said, well, he had his first drop last year, too. That means he'll never drop a pass the rest of the season. And then, 2 plays later, he dropped it again. I was like, okay, that was actually my bad.
You're like, hey, that's my bad. That's my bad.
I jinxed him on that one. That actually was not Jeremiah Smith's fault. That was actually my fault for jinxing him on that one. But I have no concerns. He's still the best player in college football. Once Julian Saying is a little more comfortable and starts throwing up to him more, I think what really happened in that game offensively was Texas was doing everything possible to make sure Jeremiah was not getting open. And then that left up one-on-one matchups with Max Clare, the tight end, who you saw Julian Saying look too early and often, and really Carnell Tate, too, who caught that big touchdown late in the game. I mean, they have the best receiving core in the country. It's not just Jeremiah Smith. They have what, in our opinion at PFF, the best tight end in the draft in Max Clare, and also a potential first-round pick at receiver in Carnell Tate, plus a really good player in Brandon Inniss, too. I mean, it's not just Jeremiah, and that's what makes him so scary is that he's the best player in the country, but they could survive offensively even if he doesn't have the best game because that's how good the entire receiving core is at Ohio State.
Very well said, Max.
It's the rich get richer, man. And that's what I was going to bring up before Max said it. I was like, it doesn't hurt when, your best receiver's struggling, he drops 2 balls, but then Carnell Tate's just, catching touchdowns.
We got to let Carnell Tate go one-on-one.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. And, you've also got Chris Henry Jr. coming in next year, who's a stud out at modern day. So, the rich get richer with Ohio State and their receiver.
I'm proud of them. They're doing great. I did want to ask, I know we're going to get into some losses. Let's go ahead and say it. It's the Alabama boys. But I wanted to ask, of all the top 25 losses this week, which one do you still feel like has the best chance to make the college football playoff?
Oh, easily Clemson. And I'm not just saying that because I picked them to win it all preseason, and I refuse to.
I was going to say, I think there might have been a little bit of pushback there.
I refuse to admit I was wrong. I'm not going to say that, but I mean, not only because I think Clemson's still a really good team. I mean, they really performed. They performed well against LSU's, who now looks like a national title contender. But I mean, it's a schedule. I mean, look at that Clemson schedule. Like, you find me where they're going to lose 2 more games the rest of the year. I don't know what's going to happen. So Texas, I think Texas, you can argue, is a better team than Clemson. But the problem with Texas is the schedule is way harder than what Clemson has the rest of the year too. This was easily the hardest game on Clemson's schedule. Like, they don't play Miami in the regular season, at least this year too. So I struggle to see Clemson screwing up once or twice more with how good they looked against LSU too, who's now a top 2 or 3 team in the country, in my opinion. I think Clemson, I would be floored if Clemson does not make the playoff this year.
Listen, Max, don't worry about a prediction going awry. You're on a podcast with 3 people that put Alabama as their national title winner, myself included.
You had Georgia, didn't you, man?
Georgia, yeah.
I didn't have Alabama.
No, Drew did.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like,
I know
what?
Drew's not in here, but me, Chase, and Drew were on the Alabama train.
Hey, Dolan did too, man. My co-host Dolan Lossman, he had Alabama too. I feel way better about my pick than he does right now. That's for sure.
Yeah. I watching that Alabama team, because it's not like in our instant reaction show. I brought it up. I was like, if I looked at this show, if somebody showed me this score and was like, "Hey, Florida State's going to beat Alabama. Here's the score," I'm thinking, "Oh, Ty Simpson just pissed all down his leg. Like 4 interceptions, fumbles, something crazy." But after watching that game, it felt like Bama just got beat. And watching the effort and watching the way some of those players were just either not prepared or not locked in or just didn't want to be there, maybe, or thought maybe they could just roll out their helmet and beat Florida State. It was like, it was shell shocking to me watching this Alabama team. And I guess it's just so many years of watching Nick Saban, and watching a game like this makes you truly appreciate Nick Saban. But tell me what you saw from Alabama. Like, was that more on Alabama just looking like they didn't want to be there, or was it more on Florida State and them like backing up what Thomas Castellanos talked in the summer? Like, which one do you think more led to this result?
Not to take away from Florida State, because they were so much better than last year. Obviously, I think they're a top 15 team now. You have to say in the country. But that was on Alabama. Like, that's Alabama was so much more talented than that team, and I think they are still so much more talented than that team. And the coaching, it's scary, man. There's a crazy stat that Brett McMurphy tweeted out that Kalen DeBoer, in his 2 years so far at Alabama, when there are 2 touchdown or more favorites, he is 4-4. Nick Saban, when he was 2 touchdown or more favorites at Alabama, was 131-2. So you're talking about You're talking about a head coach in Kalen DeBoer. When they're favored by 2 touchdowns or more, it's a 50-50 coin flip whether or not he's going to win that ball game. And if you look at those 4 losses, you talk about the Michigan loss in the bowl game, where Michigan also, by the way, a lot of guys opted out of that bowl game. So Mason Graham didn't play in that game, and a bunch of other guys did not play in that game either. And Alabama was basically at full strength. They lost that game. Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, and now Florida State. They got worked in the trenches. And you never, ever saw Nick Saban teams at Alabama. You guys know, Tennessee fans. Like, if you're going to beat Alabama, and you did it with the Hendon Hooker year, you need a dude at quarterback, and you need dudes on the outside to beat him with speed. You are not going to win in the trenches. These 4 games, they have gotten destroyed, offensive line, defensive line, in the trenches. And that's a scary sign for Alabama, because they never, ever lost like that under Nick Saban. You needed a Joe Burrow at quarterback. You needed a Hendon Hooker at quarterback, or whoever else, a superstar, to beat them. Now you don't. Now it's like, hey, if you have a decent run game and a quarterback who can run a little bit, you have a shot to beat Alabama. It's worrying. It is very worrying right now. And that schedule is brutal the rest of the year too, with a lot of great offenses and a lot of great mobile quarterbacks too. Kalen DeBoer is in serious trouble of missing the playoff 2 years in a row. And in a 12-team college football playoff era, missing a 12-team playoff 2 years in a row is unacceptable, really, in Alabama. If they don't make it this year, I mean, we could be talking about who's the next head coach at Alabama very soon.
Yeah, simply put, that shit just does not fly when it comes to the Alabama Crimson Tide. And yeah, they're going to run him out of there real fast. Chase asked a great question about who lost that you still have a lot of faith in. So I want to flip the question kind of and ask, who's the team that won, but you've still got questions about, that you're maybe not sold on?
A team that beat a top 25 team this week is what you're asking? Like
a team that like had high expectations. Maybe they're in the top 25.
okay.
They won, but you're still like, yeah, I don't know about it. I mean, the team that came to my mind was like, all right, South Carolina. Everybody was on Lenore Sellers. They really kind of were in a battle there with Virginia Tech. I don't know if that's the team you want to pick, but that was just kind of an example that flew to my mind.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Indiana, they played with Old Dominion a little bit too much in that one. I don't know if they're going to make the playoff this year again. So I'll put them up there. As for someone else who won, that I'm like, I just still don't know. I think Arizona State's interesting. I think they scare me a little because I just think that offense without Cam Scadaboo could be just too reliant on Levitt and Jordan Tyson. So that's a little worrying. I think South Carolina's a good call. I still think they're kind of a boomer bust team this year. Virginia Tech's a solid team, but they're by no means a top 25 team. So even though they won yesterday, I mean, you saw some issues with South Carolina against Virginia Tech in that game. And then Michigan's in the top 15 right now. A big game this week against Oklahoma. I think those are two programs that are very similar to each other in that defenses should be really good, but you have a lot of offensive question marks. I think the loser of that game will be pretty telling as to where their offense is going to be the rest of the year.
Malcolm?
Oh no, I was waiting on you.
Oh no,
I'm so sorry. I was
good,
literally,
You were zoning.
You're good.
Fumbled the handoff.
I did fumble the handoff. I was Joey Aguilar there. All right, so there's a lot of guys obviously this weekend, Max, that I really enjoyed watching, but I just want to know from your seat, who do you want to give some flowers to in terms of like this person, and it doesn't have to be somebody that's like a clear like, oh my gosh, like a Florida State's quarterback or something, but like who is somebody that you're just like, flowers need to go to this person?
I'll give you two. Last night, Ruben Bain Jr. was unblockable. He is a guy, the edge rusher from Miami. I mean, he had like a 94 PFF grade in that game, and that's a offensive line that I had in my top 10, and multiple analysts that I respect had Notre Dame as the best offensive line in college football, and he made them look awful in that game. He was a guy that I thought is a top 15 prospect heading into the year. Now you're talking about maybe a top 5, top 10 prospect. If he keeps playing like that, he could be a top 5 pick absolutely this year too. I mean, he was quite literally unblockable in that game against Notre Dame last night. So he was outstanding. And the true freshman, Jaron Keawe-Sangapulutele, the quarterback at Cal, I was surprised that he won that job over Devin Brown, who was a 5-star quarterback a few years ago. But now I'm not, because you look at what he did in his first career game against Oregon State. He had like a 95.5 passing grade, 5 big-time throws, 0 turnover-worthy plays. With a lot of true freshmen starting this year, namely Bryce Underwood getting all of the love and all of the hype, Jaron Keawe-Sangapulutele was pretty easily the most impressive one, I thought, of week 1. So keep an eye on that guy, because Cal right now has 2 quarterbacks who are starting in the NFL, and Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff. Sangapulutele isn't eligible until 2028, but he might be the next Cal quarterback, honestly, to be a starter in the NFL. The way he's playing, man, that kid looked unfreaking believable in his first career game against Oregon State.
That's awesome.
Max, would you believe me if I told you we were literally watching highlights of him before the show started? I was like, I walked into the studio, I was like, hey, y'all got to see this kid.
Yeah,
dude. He's a stud.
I'm telling you, right before we started, we were watching the ACC Network Cal game.
In true Pac-12 After Dark fashion, he is incredible, and he'll be a great Cal starting quarterback if he doesn't end up at USC between now and then with Lincoln Riley.
People keep saying that and making that joke, and I get it. I will say he was committed to Cal, then he flipped to Oregon, and then he signed with Oregon, and then he transferred to Cal. So it's not like, he was a top 10 quarterback out of high school. It's not like he was this no-name guy out of nowhere. So who knows, man? He might be committed to the Golden Bears a long time. But, you're right, though. In today's day and age of NIL, he keeps playing like that, there are going to be a lot of schools offering a lot of money for him to be the next quarterback of their program.
Oh, yeah. I fully expect that he's already probably gotten some phone calls just after one game. Some of the throws he made were just unbelievable. So, and it felt right. I don't know how you felt watching the game, but it felt right for me to watch a Pac-12 After Dark game and see that Pac-12 logo on the field. Like, it just felt like home. I was like, this is what we should be. It's after midnight on the East Coast. Like, this is what I needed in my life. Was true Pac-12 After Dark, a quarterback that hardly anybody knows about, and he's out here balling against Oregon State, dude. So,
We had it with Utah, UCLA, but unfortunately they're both Big 12 and Big 10 now. So it was still a little after dark, but it was still 11 p.m. kickoff. But it was not the same. I completely get that.
Yeah. Anything left for Saturday, gentlemen? Want to put a bow on Saturday because
we tied it up, buddy.
Because there is something I do want to ask Mr. Max about.
Go for it.
That is specifically on Sunday. There was a game with and I said I was gonna twist the knife in a little bit, Max. I promise it's not personal. But former Syracuse recruit, former Syracuse commit that flipped to South Carolina, Lenora Sellers, played a game on Sunday against Virginia Tech. Give me your thoughts on Lenoris. Give me your thoughts on South Carolina as a whole. What do you think about this team? Because I know it looks like Nick Harbor can catch now. And when you've got a 10-10, 100 guy that can catch, that's kind of scary. But it also helps having the weapon that you do at Lenora Sellers at quarterback. So give me your thoughts on South Carolina. What did you see from them? Anything you saw from Virginia Tech that maybe you're positive about? Just that game as a whole.
Yeah, me and Lenoris are mortal enemies now because I tweeted out that picture of him flipping. He actually was committed to Syracuse, my alma mater, and then he flipped to South Carolina on national signing day. I believe he's from South Carolina. He's always wanted to go there, and last second, Shane Beamer offered him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going there now." Which don't blame him for that. But I tweeted that photo out, and then after the game was over, he actually liked that photo, and I was like, "Dude, you're rubbing it in right now." Man, come on,
man.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, but no, he was awesome. He looked pretty good out there. There's still some things to clean up with him, accuracy wise, I think, and that's why, as a draft prospect, I'm still a little weary considering you've seen what happens right now in Indianapolis with Anthony Richardson. It gives me that kind of vibes. I think Sellers is more ahead of the curve than Richardson was accuracy wise, but there's still that boomer bust element to his game, so. That makes me a little queasy when you start talking about number one overall type of upside. But, I mean, he's one of the most athletic quarterbacks I've ever seen in college football. I mean, he's up there with Richardson, Cam Newton, those kind of guys. It's just the freaks of freaks playing quarterback. And, yeah, he's phenomenal, man. He's a really good player, and he looked good out there. And I think Nick Harbor hopefully can develop. I mean, you're talking about freak athletes. Nick Harbor is the freakiest athlete in all of college football. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I mean, he's a guy who's like an Olympic level sprinter, and he's 6'5", 235. That's just crazy. He's still raw. He's very raw as a receiver, as a route runner, and you even saw there's a couple drops even in that game too, one of which was a touchdown that was called back. So there's still a lot of areas to clean up for him, but there's no doubt about it. You saw the deep touchdown he caught in that game. If he gets going one-on-one, he's like DK Metcalf, but an even freakier version of DK Metcalf, and also a rawer version of DK Metcalf too. So, yeah, South Carolina, they got a lot of athletes. Dylan Stewart's a superstar too. We know that. And I like the defense is really good. That was really encouraging considering how much they lost from that defense last year. And they were very good against Kyron Drones. But, yeah, it was encouraging for South Carolina. I think they're now – I would rank them in the top 10 now. I still think they are maybe the biggest boomer bust team in all of college football this year, though.
Yeah, they needed the special teams, which is cool to see from a squad because you're like, okay, they're either going to blow them out or it's going to be this detriment to the offense. They've really taken a step back, but with them getting the special teams, in the big touchdown, I was like, okay, they can win in other ways. And they probably would like to see that. I think Virginia Tech really did kind of sell their soul to try to win this one. I think this was like, hey, we need an impactful win early, and Beamer, we'd like to beat him, miss dad. I'm sure they do. But so I was watching that game and I was like, man, this means a lot to Shane. It does mean a lot to Shane. So good to see him get that dub. I was going to ask too, with somebody like Nick, is there do you ever see when you keep saying they're raw talent, they kind of build up. Do you feel like those guys usually do prosper? Because especially somebody like him who is just such a great athlete. I mean, Sellers just dropped it in the bucket for him. It's like he's not had to do a whole lot yet. Do those guys usually kind of pan out for you when you think about it, going back to a Metcalf or guys like that?
You'd want to see them be more developed, and that's why I even made the half joke even on Twitter.
Yeah.
Where I was let's just line Harbor, because Nick Harbor coming out of high school, I actually remember him as a recruit. He was an athlete coming out, and the reason why he's listed as an athlete, not a receiver, was because they had no idea if he was a receiver or an edge rusher, because he was obviously kind of. And I was like, dude, I mean, and after he dropped a couple of passes yesterday, and I was like, well, let's just put him at edge across from Dylan Stewart and be like, let's just see what happens, right? So obviously they're not going to do that. He would never agree to that either, nor should he. But it's just he's that kind of athlete, though. Quarterback is different because quarterback is so much more than just being a sick athlete. Like, look at Anthony Richardson. Like I said, I actually think Anthony Richardson is the most athletically gifted quarterback maybe to ever play in the NFL. The problem is that he's so inaccurate. The decision-making is so all over the place that quarterback is one of those positions where, yeah, you could be a freak of all freaks, but you're still going to lose your job to Daniel Jones if you can't hit the simple out route, right? So that's what scares me a little with Sellers. Again, I think he's more ahead of the game than what Richardson was, but it's still what concerns me a little bit there. Receiver is one position, though, where as long as you catch the football and develop a little bit as a route runner, like you can win as a vertical threat in the NFL if you're 6'5", 235, and you run a 4.3. Like, that'll work, right? So there's going to be a role for that kind of player in the NFL. The question is, okay, are you going to be just this gimmicky vertical threat that maybe gets 1 or 2 targets a game, or are you going to turn into Calvin Johnson, who is one of the freakiest receivers to ever play football? So that's the question mark, because Calvin was obviously incredibly athletically gifted, but also really refined as a player. Harbor is, again, it sounds hyperbolic, but he legitimately is as athletically gifted as like a Calvin Johnson or
100%.
But the problem is he's just so raw. Like he's a guy that has not trained to be a wide receiver until the last 2 years of his life, really. And you see as a route runner, you see it with his hands too. Like, it still looks unnatural out there, but then you see that deep ball he had against Virginia Tech, and you're like, oh, that's what it is right there. That's the kind of guy that could just completely take over, and the kind of guy that teams rarely let fall out of the first round too. So you're right. It's a problem that he's that raw, but at least wide receiver is one of those positions. And, I would say edge rusher and running back too, especially. Running back's probably the biggest one, where if you're a freak of all freaks, dude, you can make a living in the NFL. Whereas a quarterback, you got to be mentally there. You got to have your accuracy there too. It's more than just being a freak athlete at quarterback, at least.
Decision-making makes a lot of difference. Who's up?
Anything else? Want to put a bow on South Carolina, Virginia Tech?
I'm good on that. I have something that I wanted to ask going into next week, but if you want to ask about your boy Carson Beck or something along those lines,
go for it. Come on, get your
validation.
There was one more
game,
Max. There was one more game on Sunday, okay? And it just happened to be between a team that paid a lot of money for a quarterback that came from a team that that's very near and dear to my heart, okay? And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Last year, I was a serial Carson Beck defender in the group chats, okay? And I got flamed, absolutely flamed. They were like, dude, he sucks. He's turnover prone. He's the problem. And I'm sitting here watching this Georgia offense, and I'm like, he's not just the problem. There are a lot of issues going on here that revolve more around what's around him than the quarterback position. So last night was a little bit validating for me personally, because to watch him come out and look like Carson Beck from 2023, I was like, so I was right. That felt so good personally. So talk to me a little bit about Carson, what you saw from Carson. I know the Miami on the line, defensive and offensive line, looks vastly improved from last year. And I think that's a contributing factor. But talk to me about what you saw from Carson, what you saw from Miami, outside of the CJ Daniels catch, which was just freaky, that you liked, what you saw from Notre Dame, because I do also want to know what you think about CJ Carr. And with him, that being his first start, it's tough when you got Ruben Bain chasing you all night. So give me your thoughts on that game and what you liked and what you didn't like.
Yeah, it was validating for me too, Joe, because I had Carson Beck as QB3 in college football entering the year, and I got flamed for that because I was with you. I thought last year I thought he played fine last year. I think you're right. The problem around him was the receiving core did not have Brock Bowers or Ladd McConkey anymore, and all of a sudden, how I would say describe Carson Beck is he is the Jared Goff of college football, where if you put Jared Goff in an offense with Amon-Ra St. Brown and a great offensive line and TJ Hawkinson, or who was there at least, but Sam Laporta now, and Jahmyr Gibbs and all these guys, he's going to look great. Like Jared Goff will play at a top 10 level in the NFL with that kind of supporting cast. You put Jared Goff in early career Rams and even a little bit early on with the Lions with not a great supporting cast, and he looks almost unplayable at times. That's how Carson Beck is. If you put talent around him, man, he's going to be an elite quarterback. And I thought, Georgia did not do that to the extent they should have last year with the receivers, at least. Yesterday, I thought it was really, you could see the talent there at Miami. I thought the offensive line just kicked Notre Dame's ass up front. Notre Dame could not get anything going with their pass rush at all. And I think they had like 4 total pressures on Carson Beck the entire game. And then the receivers like Malachi Toney, true freshman star. He's a 17-year-old too. So he's like the new Ryan Williams for some people as a 17-year-old true freshman receiver. But there's a lot of talent, man. There's a lot. So you saw the CJ Daniels catch. It's good to see him kind of bounce back after an okay year, not even a great year at all at LSU the year before. So yeah, I also feel a little vindicated for having Carson Beck that high because I was with you. I thought Carson Beck is a really good quarterback. You just got to put talent around him, and you saw against an elite defense that we thought it would be in Notre Dame. I mean, he looked pretty good out there. And then Notre Dame wise, I think the everyone's talking about Jeremiah Love only getting 10 carries and Notre Dame throwing so many screen passes too. That's because the offensive line was getting killed. I mean, the Notre Dame, they lost that game because they lost in the trenches. Like Miami's offensive line and their defensive line won that ball game last night. And when your offensive line is getting that beat up, you're going to throw so many screens to get rid of the ball quickly. And also you're not going to give your star running back handoffs because he's just going to get tackled immediately anyways, no matter how good Jeremiah Love is. And he is a superstar. So I thought CJ Carr played really well. If you told me that CJ Carr was going to be relied on that much last night, I would have said that Miami was going to roll Notre Dame, and it was only a 3-point ball game. So CJ Carr showed he's a gamer. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback for them. But yeah, it was just really the story of the game for me was that Miami just absolutely dominated in the trenches in that game.
Real quick, does anybody know, like, what is our new story of the Ryan Williams is 17 and then also is the Astro Dobbs?
He hasn't popped yet, but it's Ole Miss's quarterback, Austin Simmons. Yeah, he graduated high school at 16, graduated college at 19.
Oh, okay, that's our guy. That's our new storyline.
Yeah, that's your guy.
Your boy from Syracuse, also really young, the cornerback, correct?
Angeli's
not quarterback, cornerback. There was a corner.
Samuel, corner / wide receiver, the Travis Hunter in Syracuse, in Central New York.
Yes.
They're playing him a little bit both sides. I think he got hurt against Tennessee, I remember. But he's a talented player, man. If he's playing receiver and corner, you got to be pretty damn good out there. So don't think he'll reach the highs of the Heisman Trophy winner, number 2 overall pick, but hopefully he could be the Syracuse version of Travis Hunter. I'll take that very gladly.
Yeah, because I'm trying to find our new storyline. Like, what's our one that Gus and them are just going to just keep going about? What am I going to hear Herb Street say 9 times in the booth? So I can't wait to find that. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know what it is because, good gosh, if I heard that Josh Dobbs was in astrophysics one more time.
One more time.
Oh,
Ryan Williams.
I was tired of watching Tennessee games for it. I'll be honest.
Ryan Williams is 18 now. And he's also out a few weeks because he took a rough shot in that game.
He did not know where he was.
Is he out a few weeks?
Probably. Yeah. He's probably gonna be out for a little while. So,
Yikes City.
Because it was kind of rough, the shot he took in the Florida State game. So
Jay, you got anything else on week 1?
No, I'll give Max some of his time back. I don't want to hold him here
I've got one more just regarding week 2. I'm just kind of looking over the slate, Max, and there's not a lot of fantastic games. I mean, we got the Cy-Hawk Bowl, we've got Florida playing South Florida. South Florida obviously very good against Boise State in week 1, and obviously Michigan, Oklahoma. What are you looking forward to the most coming up in week number 2?
Yeah, I think that Michigan-Oklahoma game is pretty easily the biggest game of the week. And it's 2 programs that are very similar in that they have great defenses and they have offenses, at least last year, that were horrendous. But now you have hope for those offenses too, because you have John Mateer at Oklahoma looked pretty good in his first game. And improved supporting cast there too, which really was the biggest problem with Oklahoma last year. I thought even more so than the quarterbacks. I thought the supporting cast was horrendous at Oklahoma, and they seem to improve that at least this year. And then Michigan, it was kind of the opposite, where it was like, okay, you have a decent supporting cast, but you have nothing at quarterback, and now you have Bryce Underwood in there now, who is the highest rated quarterback recruit almost of all time, really. So, and I thought he looked good in his week 1 game against New Mexico too. So. 2 programs that are very similar. That's the game I'm looking forward to the most. And then the other one I'll throw out there is Cy-Hawk 1 is obviously going to be very fun. Kansas, Missouri is going to be really fun too, considering that's a rivalry that has been dead for 14 years now when Missouri left for the SEC. Now it's back this year. Can't wait for that. The other one I'm really looking forward to is Illinois against Duke. I think that is a trap game for Illinois. I think Duke, we're doing our preview tomorrow. I'm picking Duke to win the game. I think Manny Diaz and the defense that he runs with how blitz happy he is and how bad Illinois was at protecting Luke Altmaier against blitzes and how bad Luke Altmaier has been against blitzes too, that is a bad matchup for Illinois' offense in that one. So I think it could be a really fun game, and you could see a top 15 team in Illinois lose to an unranked team in Duke, and I would not be surprised by that at all because I think Duke has a really, really good chance of pulling off that upset.
We were trying to decide which games we wanted to pick in the core 4 this week, and you just made it even harder.
Solidified it.
Even harder.
Darien Mintz is going to be fun to watch in that game. So I'm very,
Well, before we go, Max, I just have to say, like, you know, watching your video about your national championship pick, and you went back the last couple of years, your hair game has improved very steadily over the last couple of years, because that video a couple of years ago, when you got the gel in your hair and it's sticking.
Dude, it was a tough look. Yeah.
Good look.
I think I'd never been called hot by so many men in my entire life. It was a big day for me on Instagram that day. It was a very fun
big day.
How many times did you get glow up?
So much, dude. The one guy commented, he got like 1,500 likes on it. I was like, I'm gonna send this to my ex-girlfriend. Like, I told you. Like, look at this.
If she just would have stuck around.
You gotta see the vision. You gotta see the vision. Her vision wasn't good.
It was posted on her birthday too, which is the best part about it. So,
hey, hell yeah!
There we go. No, but it was awesome. It was cool to see people say that, and it turns out if you stop eating McDonald's every day of your life, it actually ends up being good for your body, which I found out.
I was gonna say you definitely lost some lbs, brother. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man.
As somebody that has zero self-control, I love what you're doing.
No, I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I remember this past weekend how hard it is to not eat like complete crap during football season, because me and Donald were just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we're just like eating out every week because we had to do a lot of work for the show, obviously, and it's like, oh man, this is gonna be tough during the season to keep the LPs off, but we'll see what we can do. Hopefully, we get a couple workouts in during the week, though.
Let's hope so. For sure, you need that, as always. Find him on Twitter at CFB Max Chadwick. He is the football analyst for PFF, co-host of PFF's College Football Show. And make sure you follow them on social media and especially on YouTube. They do some incredible game previews, game reviews, all the stuff there for Pro Football Focus. Max, it's an absolute pleasure. We always appreciate you making time for us here on Chat It Up, my man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
You're the best, Max.
There he goes. Max Chadwick here on Chat It Up Sports. We thank him, as always, for being a contributor, being part of the show. He is a fantastic guest. All right, boys, to finish out this one, let's talk about some of the role players. You know, we spent a lot of time talking about the stars, the Castellanos, the Aguilars, the Carson Becks, the Lenore Sellers. Let's talk about the guys who shined, but don't always get that shine. Chase, you came up with this idea, so I'm going to let you roll first.
Dude, I was so pumped because I was just thinking about this. I had this old segment in my mind. I was like, we need to bring it up. We need to get a little love out there for all these.
We do.
And you know who we're going to give a little love to? Probably one of the funnest watches all week was USF. I think South Florida really kicked us off on Thursday and said, hey, let's bring it. You know what we started out with? A Lachlan Hewitt. Punt, fake, touchdown, boys. Sneak attack. He's not a punter. He's your backup quarterback. And those fools on the other side of Boise State, everybody thought top 25. They're going to be an easy route back to the championship, back to the playoff. Boise State, heavy favorite. No, sir. Byron Brown and the boys said, nah, we got it. But Lachlan Hewitt, 45-yard bomb. Let's go, baby. Role Player Lounge #1. Who's next?
I mean, I feel like I got to go back to the hood with this one.
Take us back to the hood.
I'm going to take y'all back to the hood. He's a Role Player Lounge right now, but my man is going to have a yacht by the end of the season.
Okay.
Mr.
NIL back.
Colton Hood from the University of Tennessee. Y'all, stat line, 4 tackles, 3 PBUs, 1 fumble recovery, and a tutty.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Love that.
Mr. Hood, I'm so hood. I see you, dog. Welcome to the Players Lounge.
Joseph?
Oh, brother. All right, man. In what was probably the biggest game of the weekend, and with a defense that was full of names such as Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill Jr. and Malik Muhammad, Michael Taff. Sorry.
Yes.
There was a man that stood out among the Texas defense. His name was Leona Lafau. He led this defense in tackles and was the only tackle for loss for Texas in the game. So shout out to role player linebacker Leona Lafau showing up big for Texas when all those other names are there to shine.
Great name, by the way.
It is, man. And I'm working on it. I'm working on these Polynesian names like Jerome Kiawe, Sagapuatele. I'm trying. So if I'm off a little bit, I'm trying. No disrespect, just giving it my best shot.
I think at this point, with their names, they understand it's probably a little difficult to say, and
for sure
they've got to be understanding, especially some of these guys.
But the French, man, it's a fun language. It sounds like.
Yeah, it is. All right, bring up the rear for me. I'm going to go to a game that Max just talked a lot about with Lenore Sellers, South Carolina Gamecocks, and the Virginia Tech Hokies. We're in the end of the half. Look, Virginia Tech kicks the field goal. They close the gap to 2. It's 10-8. Nobody scores in the third quarter. Yeah. We're looking for momentum. The game is up in the air. It can go one way or the other. Is Lenore Sellers going to get upset? Is Beamer going to lose? And then Bakari Swaim comes out of nowhere and says, let me take this to the house, boys. Lenore Sellers, who? I'm going to take this one on my back. He gets the 80-yard punt return for a touchdown, gives South Carolina a 17-8 lead, which they would never relinquish. They go on to win 24-11. That was a big-time momentum shift in this game. And again, when the game was hanging in the balance for South Carolina, Lenore Sellers was kind of struggling, wasn't really doing what everybody anticipated him doing. Bakari Swaim was there to save the day.
Welcome to the Role Player Lounge, boys.
I love it. Beginning in the fourth quarter, and gave South Carolina a little padding they wouldn't relinquish.
That was electric, by the way. That was one of those fun moments. I like that. I know it was like a top 25 battle, I guess, but I was like, that's two big schools back in Atlanta. That was a good one to have at 3:00.
Yeah. Yeah. And in the most Beamer ball fashion, they get a penalty on that punt the first time.
Yeah.
And he makes them repunt it.
Yep.
And then he houses it.
So, love it.
Chestnut checkers, boys.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right. Much love, friends. Everybody good? Anybody need one more thing?
I do have one more thing. We haven't said an F-bomb on this show.
Oh, yeah.
Boy.
I'm not going to fucking stop eating McDonald's. I don't know what Max is talking about. That's all I got to say, folks.
Great F-bomb.
So good.
And on business,
home.
dog.
We got one. We always got one. All right.
Hey, we got something big happening on Friday. We're not going to be doing the show on Thursday. We usually record on Thursdays. But we're going to be live on Friday.
Live and live
for
in color.
Feel Good Friday.
We are going to be Feel Good Friday from AT&T Stadium. The last series ever there, boys.
Wow.
I kind of thought about it coming in.
Of it.
I was like, wow, that's going to be us.
Yeah.
One last ride.
You going to be there?
Bro, I won't miss it for the world.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Loaded house.
I did not know that was the last series.
Yes, bro. This is the last series.
It's kind of weird to think about.
Yeah, that just weighed on me a lot. like as a kid who went up going to Lookouts games, it's like, hey, you're not going here anymore.
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, can I tell you guys something?
Yeah.
Because in the spirit of talking about things that happen in time, you guys want to know a old man stat line?
Yeah.
So kids that were born when App State upset Michigan, they're turning 18 this year.
Wow. That's crazy.
Let that weigh on your mind, gentlemen.
That's crazy.
Let that weigh on your
Friday
mind.
on that note. Dang.
Thank you. Shout out Reddit CFB for that stat line. That gut punch today. I did not need it, but I got it, so I had to share it with you guys.
I feel really old.
Dog, like ancient, brother. Yep. Oh my God.
There's too many of these coming out here lately. I don't know if it's just because of our age now, like we start to get in this whatever realm of content, but I'm hearing way too much of this stuff like, 1980, like what was the Bowling for Soup song? Like now it would be like 2005. It's like, what? Like all those little things. Like, stop it. Stop it. Feel old, boys. But yes, please come on down to AT&T Stadium. It's going to be, I think it's Joey Votto.
It is the replica night. First, 1,000 folks get a replica Joey Votto jersey.
It's going to be lit.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
There.
So we'll be back out front.
Fireworks
on Friday.
Fireworks Friday. Gotta be for the last
one.
The last fireworks night.
Kidding me?
They're giving away dirt in the ballpark.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to take the dirt. I don't know if you guys can take the dirt if you guys want to.
Oh, I'm going to take some dirt for sure. Oh, and 25-cent hot dog night is going to be technically is
it Thursday?
But I want to say it's Tuesday, bro. I want to say it's tomorrow.
Well, today, really.
Today.
Dang. Go out there, get your hot dogs, ladies and
25 cents.
You can't beat it.
I wish we would. You know what maybe we need to do
What's
over
that?
there?
The
9 for
9.
9.
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, I'm with it. I have no fear.
I will not doing that. My insides will be absolutely wrecked.
Can
Oh,
I
yeah.
go? Can I go
Sure
no
will.
bun?
No.
No.
You have to.
Bun.
You just said you're going to eat McDonald's. Now you're going to try to go do that.
Well, no, because the bread, like it's like
Yeah,
unnecessary.
exactly. The bread that
No.
gets you.
No.
Yeah, I'm doing it, bro. So not Drew's version though. I'm not doing 9 cents.
Yeah,
9
no,
Yeah,
that
what is
sounds
that?
brutal.
That's so
You need to go-
Gen Z.
You need to go to
Stop it.
rehab.
Yeah, that
You
Gen
need-
Z crap. Them and their YouTubers out here just trying to pull all these stunts. This is an old fashioned 9 to 9.
Yeah, bro. 9 cents in a hot dog, bro. You're going to die.
What
9
would-
dogs, 9 beers.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
9 innings.
In
Are
9
we-
innings.
so you want to do it old fashioned style where it's like you just do one an inning.
Yeah. I thought it'd be fun to do it just like one. And to me, I think that's the hardest part is like, because if somebody's like, hey, I need you to crush 9 hot dogs, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to like it, but I can do that. But it's having to wait between
I'm not gonna
like the first hot dog and probably your like 5th and 6th hot dog is really where it's going to like weigh on you.
Starts to feel it in the stomach and the intestines. Oh,
Yeah,
That gets
so-
time to settle.
Yeah.
sitting there.
So you
Yeah.
kind of have to pace yourself because it's like
Oh,
it'd be real
no.
easy in the first at bat to just crush that hot dog in
For
like 3
sure.
pitches, but then you've got to wait because like especially what if the inning carries on?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
have
do like
some,
a
like-
slow eat.
I don't know what the strategy
I-
is on that.
I think your strategy is like I think you wait until there's like no, because then you might have to go fast.
Do you just take like 6 individual bites every single out? Just take a same size bite.
I think I'm going just all in. Like I'm just going to absolutely just go crazy on
Just-
the hot dogs and the beer. Just like all right,
No, you have to eat one in an inning. You can't eat like
that is the
multiple.
rule.
in
So
an
I
inning.
can't
Yeah.
just eat 9
No,
hot
no,
dogs.
no, no,
That's the problem. It's a challenge. That's why
Yeah,
it's a challenge.
that's why it
It's
kind of
'cause- yeah.
sucks.
Oh yeah, I'm cooked.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I'm cooked.
Yeah, that's the thing is like you have to wait until the second inning. Like at the
Have your
start
second
of
hot
the
dog.
second inning, you go get your second hot
I
dog.
think
second
it's
beer.
better for the beer because I mean, we're
Yes.
five beers in and off all I'm eating's hot dogs because I want to save some room, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna eat before.
No,
So I mean you're gonna feel it. About 3 when it's like 3 full beers and 3 hot dogs, you're
Yeah.
probably starting to get a little buzz, then 4 or 5 deep, and I'm like, I need to take a nap.
yeah. And what's really going to suck is if you get like, say you get like 6th inning and you may have had like maybe 1 run apiece, but then somebody busts out like a 5-run inning and it
Yeah.
just drags like bottom of the 6th and you're waiting on that 7th hot dog. It's coming, but like,
Cooked.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to my wife about this one, but yeah, as of right now, I'm gonna commit to it, and then I may totally backtrack on you guys.
You might
because-
be sleeping in the other
because
room
she
if
might be
you do
like,
do it.
"Hey, I'm not really cool with that because we do have a child that has to wake up usually
Yeah.
around 6:15 to 6:30."
True.
yeah, I would love to partake, but if I would have to find a ride.
I was gonna say I'd
You got a long way to
I'd
go
have to,
back.
I'd have
That'd
to
be a
drive
long-
you guys somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be a long ride back.
Man,
Yeah,
imagine
so.
going back up north. That buddy, they'd lock me up.
Locked up.
They won't
Yeah.
let me out.
Yeah, let's talk about it. May not be about it. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, like, subscribe. Much love to everybody listening. Max Chadwick, you're the man. Always a pleasure. See you
Good to
guys
have
Friday.
everybody. back in
God,
the
so good to
foundation.
have everybody
So
in
good
here.
to be back,
Yeah.
man.
I know. I don't really want it to end. I was like,
Yeah.
keep talking.
Happy birthday to Dr. Phil.
All right,
Wow.
shout out to Dr. Phil.
Okay.
I haven't given a birthday in a minute.
What a parting shot.
We love you. See you on Friday.